Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight for the 2020 SRU Communication and Media Hall of Fame. My name is Morgan Cozier, and I'm so honored to be back again this year as your host. As a proud member of the class of 2018 and a professional member of the news industry, I'd like to start by addressing the obvious. Our event this year doesn't look like it has in the past due to the pandemic. However, we are lucky to have an exceptional group of talented students, faculty members, and alum who have helped us pull this together. A great presentation that we have for you this evening. It goes without saying that SRU would not be the prestigious university that it is without the support of our alum like you guys. So each and every one of you has helped shape this university to be what it is today. And this brings us to the bulk of our program, a celebration of you. All right, let's get started. Tonight, we will be inducting 3 SRU Communication alumni into the 2020 Hall of Fame. We will also be presenting 3 awards: the Mike McHugh Award for Undergraduate Excellence, the Jim Aronson Founders Award, and the Lifetime Achievement Award. So we're going to begin with announcing our inductees. The Slippery Rock University Communication and Media Hall of Fame celebrates the positive accomplishments of diverse individuals who have made a significant impact on the field of communication and/or media in the communities that they serve. This honor is awarded to alumni from the SRU Department of Communication and/or those highly involved with SRU communication and media organizations during their time at SRU. Those under consideration will have over 15 years of experience in the fields of communication or media, and successful candidates must also demonstrate leadership in the field, service to the profession and society, and superior performance over the course of their career. So our first inductee today is Toy Wigley. Toy Wigley is a director of global DIEB at PayPal. That's where she leads the development of brand and marketing solutions to drive a more inclusive and equitable employee and customer experience. So she's got a career that spans more than 20 years in marketing and management consulting. And she most recently spent nearly a decade at JP Morgan Chase, specializing in strategy, integrated marketing, and stakeholder engagement around financial inclusion. So that's with a specific focus on low to middle income consumer segments. Toy served as marketing director with the consumer marketing team, overseeing execution around differentiated consumer value propositions that elevate and amplify the firm's brand positioning through award-winning campaigns that increase awareness, lead generation, and acquisition. Before graduating from SRU with a degree in public administration and minor in communication back in 1996, Toy worked with the University Program Board, Student Government Association, and Black Action Society. So she's currently a member of the American Marketing Association, and outside of work, Toy actively participates in the community, focusing on organizing programs that help eliminate educational and gender disparities in underserved communities. So please join me now in congratulating Ms. Toy Wigley. Toy?
Wow. Thank you so much for this induction into the Slippery Rock University Communications and Media Hall of Fame. This is such a special moment for me when I think about where it all started. And so I just want to extend a special thanks to Katrina Quinn, the staff, the committee members, and the students for nominating me for this award. Slippery Rock holds a really special place in my heart for a variety of reasons. It's that first moment of freedom, right? When our parents drop us off at school. It also represents the moment where I realized the importance of connectivity. It was also the moment where someone who wasn't in my family, but who just saw something in me that I hadn't yet seen in myself, said, "You've got something and you're gonna go far." And that person was Dwight Greer. I am so grateful for the time and the effort that he poured into me as a student, because what it allowed me to do is really build on the foundation from Slippery Rock University, whether it was as a student studying abroad in the United Kingdom or as a student interning at the White House. I always knew that when I came back to school, Slippery Rock University had my back. And once again, you've got my back. So for the students out there, many of you may think you go to a small school in Western Pennsylvania, but I need for you to understand that you actually attend a major launch pad to achieve your heart's desires. Slippery Rock University is a gem in Western Pennsylvania, and you should never forget to dream big.
All right, thanks so much, Joy. Congratulations. Our next inductee is Bill Cummings. Bill is an Emmy Award-winning news producer at WPTV-5 in West Palm Beach. That's where he was recently recognized as a runner-up for the 2019 Florida Associated Press Best Producer Award. Bill earned an Emmy in 2018 in the evening newscast category and has been nominated 3 times. So with over 30 years of experience in the news industry, Bill started his career in print journalism at the York Dispatch, York Sunday as a news staff writer and contributing sports columnist. During his time, his team was honored with an award for a 5-part enterprise series by the Associated Press. He moved into the television industry in 1990, and he was holding different positions both on air and behind the scenes at WHTM 27 and WHPTV 21 in Harrisburg. And he's been in his current position at WPTV-5 since 1996. And he graduated from SRU in 1982. He majored in communications with a dual minor in English and geography, and he's currently a member and a judge for the National Academy for Television Arts and Sciences. So please join me now in congratulating Bill Cummings. Bill?
Hey, greetings from South Florida. It's an honor and pleasure to be accepted into the Communication and Media Hall of Fame at Slippery Rock University. Definitely want to thank Dr. Barry, Dr. Quinn, Dr. Fleming, all of the previous inductee classes, and my fellow 2020 class members. I am proud to be among you. Thank you very much. My journey here, a long one, graduated from Slippery Rock in 1982, began with Kmart. Got to say thank you to Wayne Spracklin and Steve Wardiga, 2 managers at the time. A lot of tough love, but all these years later, thankful to this day, still proud that we're all friends, so we're both friends. Thank you. Moved over to the York Dispatch, sports editors Wayne Lohman, George Hammond, and Steve Heiser, taking me under their wing. Great job, loved it, couldn't believe they accepted me, and what a pleasure that was for those nearly 4 years with the paper. Jumped up to WHTM back in Harrisburg. George Richards for answering my call and sending me that letter of encouragement. Always will be appreciated. Director Mike Gardner. Mike, I know I drove you nuts for a few months there, but it all worked out. Thank you for having faith in me, along with Rob Hanrahan and Tammy Schultes for taking me under your wing in the newsroom. Wouldn't be producing today if it wasn't for you two and your help. Thank you. Moved over to WHP, across the street in Harrisburg. Mike Dardis, news director Matt Hope, giving me my first on-air opportunity. Can't thank you enough for that. Anchors Gene Lepley and Roxanne Stein. Came down here, back down to Florida, WPTV, hired by Bill Brooks, rest in peace, Mr. Brooks. Thank you so much. News directors Pat Burns, Peter Rogar, director Jess Chu, always making our shows the best. You are appreciated, Jess. Can't forget about the reporters, managers, photojournalists, and the unsung heroes on the assignment desk that keep the newsroom going. Thank you. Special shout out to Pat McCarthy and Chuck Mitchell. Long story going from Kmart to the media, but thanks to those guys it happened, and it's a great story that I always tell the interns. Definitely wouldn't have happened without Pokim Park. Love and support from her from day one. Wouldn't be here without you, Pokim. And finally, Mom and Dad, up looking down from above. Sacrifice they made to make it happen. Definitely thankful. My brothers, Joe and Greg, since graduation, last time the family all got together in 1982, they went on and got married, had boys and girls of their own. That's what I call Hall of Fame. And finally, my fraternity brothers at Slippery Rock at Tau Kappa Epsilon and little sisters, thank you so much for your friendship over the years. And the community of Hazelwood couldn't grow up in a better place in Pittsburgh. Thank you so much for this honor.
All right, thank you so much, Bill. Congratulations to you. Our final inductee is Andrew Gearhart. Andrew Gearhart is a news producer in Los Angeles. He's the second largest media marketing in the United States with nearly 20 years of experience in the news industry. Andrew started his career at KDKA in Pittsburgh after graduating from SRU with a BA in communications in 2000. So at the young age of 24, like myself, Andrew became the producer for KDKA's 6 p.m. newscast, and he was nominated for a regional Emmy before moving on to become a senior producer for the 11 p.m. KTNV, that's the newscast for a station in Las Vegas. He worked there from 2006 to 2009, and he was nominated for additional regional Emmys between 2010 and 2013 while he was producing the 11 p.m. newscast and a show called Today in the Bay that was at KNTV in San Francisco. And during his time at The Rock, Andrew was the vice president for a student-run video production company on campus, and he worked as a radio host at WRCK, and he's currently a member of the Writers Guild of America West. So please join me now in congratulating Andrew Gearhart. Andrew.
Hello to everyone from my backyard in Valencia, California. I felt a little weird dressing up for this, but I went ahead and put on my best t-shirt anyway. I want to say thank you to the Hall of Fame committee, the alumni, and the student leaders who made this honor possible. I'm so proud of Slippery Rock, and it's so great to know the feeling is mutual. I started a journey at the university that ended up taking me across the country and put me in place as a journalist to cover some of the biggest national stories on a local level, starting with the rescue of the Q Creek Miners and Steelers Super Bowl 40 victory in Pittsburgh, and then I went on to Las Vegas where I got to cover O.J. Simpson's arrest and implosions of city landmarks like the Stardust Hotel and Casino. In the San Francisco Bay Area, there were Giants World Series victories, and then I moved on to LA where I covered more breaking news than I can even recall, but I can tell you there were a lot of car chases. I've also had a lot of fun working with famous faces from TV and movies, people who've played Starfleet captains and sleazy lawyers. And one extremely talented frog who, believe it or not, is even nicer in person than he seems on TV. Now, as I record this, I am unemployed, one of the millions of Americans affected professionally by this pandemic. And the big lesson I've learned during this job search is the importance and value of a great network. So any students watching this, here's my offer to you. Look me up, let me help you. Send me your work. I'll introduce you to some of the amazing people I've worked with over the last 20 years across this country. And with that, I just want to say thanks again for this honor. Hopefully see you in 2021, and in the meantime, let's go rock.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Congratulations. Moving on to our award winners. So the Mike McHugh Undergraduate Excellence Award recognizes an undergraduate communication major or a minor who demonstrates leadership in the field, service to the profession and society, and superior performance over the course of their time in school. So this year's recipient for the 2020 Mike McHugh Undergraduate Excellence Award goes to Miss Haley Potter. So Haley is a multimedia journalist at Erie News Now. Haley graduated from SRU back in May of 2020, and that's where she served as the president, an anchor, producer, and reporter for WSRU-TV. She was also a contributor for The Rocket. So in addition, her role in student media, Haley served 4 years as the president of the SRU National Broadcasting Society chapter, a member of the Society for Collegiate Journalists called Lambda Pi Eta and Spark, and a co-founder for Open Hearts for All. That's a nonprofit organization on campus. On a national level, Haley has served on the National Broadcasting Society Board of Governors from 2018 through 2019, and she now holds the position as a professional member. And her accolades include 2018 SRU Homecoming Royalty, Homecoming Queen, and a 2019 National Broadcasting Society Member of the Year. Pretty impressive stuff. And first place awards from the National Broadcasting Society and Pennsylvania News Association for her writing, reporting, and impressive production. And while she was at The Rock, Haley was also involved with the Rock hockey team as a reporter, Rock PRSSA, College Stress Relief, and a project to end human trafficking, and the Broadcast Education Association as well. She served as a peer leader for First Seminar and helped those students there. She also worked as a video producer for the SRU payroll office. So please join me now in congratulating Miss Haley Potter. Haley.
Hi everyone. First of all, I want to express how grateful I am for this honor and opportunity. Mike McHugh is the man who encouraged WSRU-TV to join NBS in 2016 when I was a freshman, a move that Dr. Fleming and the rest of our chapter made that impacted my life and career. Going to NBS conventions each year allowed me to meet and network with people with the same passion from across the nation. It allowed me to take on a big leadership role as a board of governors. I traveled to NYC, DC, and Philadelphia. I toured Fox News and met Sean Hannity, was on the Today Show, presented awards and won a few of my own, such as AU Row Member of the Year in 2019, Chapter of the Year, and most recently, first place for a featured news package at NBS. Aside from NBS, my college career in WSRU-TV and the Rocket were incredible. I held leadership roles, most recent being president of WSRU-TV. I reported, anchored, and produced news and entertainment. I even dipped my toes into sports. I covered local events and co-produced the Weekly Bite. Some of my best college memories were made within Maltby TV studios in Eisenberg. I got to tell the people's stories in Slippery Rock, and now, in turn, get to tell the people's stories in Erie, Pennsylvania. SRU helped me land my first dream job as a multimedia journalist. In my 4 months here, I've covered really hard news from protests, the pandemic, and breaking news. I have done heartfelt feature pieces. I have done a lot of back-to-school stories and spent a lot of time at our election headquarters. I've met local leaders and covered both presidential candidates' visits. I get to shoot, write, and edit all of my own pieces and hope to leave my mark on Erie the same way that I like to believe I did on SRU. None of this would have been possible without the support from not only my viewers and my amazing family and friends, but also my professors. One in particular, Dr. Fleming. Thank you for believing in me for 4 years and continuing to believe in me now. I bet she had no idea she would still be getting weekly texts from me asking for advice. I thank you to my current colleagues too for taking me in and being so kind and supportive and welcoming. I have already had amazing opportunities and a lot of fun here thanks to them. Also a big thank you to my family. In particular, I owe it all to my mom. When I was a little girl, my mom always taught me the cliche, follow your heart, but she really meant it. When I was in high school applying to every physician assistant school in the area, she reminded me that I need to do what makes me happy, and she knew I had a passion for the Kiski area morning announcements. She believed in me then, and that hasn't stopped. Someday I want to be half the person she is with her nurturing and caring heart. She has never missed a news report or an article or anything I've done. She makes me want to be the best version of myself. My little cousin Hayden has always inspired me in the opposite way. She looks up to me and I never wanted to disappoint her. One of my favorite memories is when she asked to bring me in for show and tell. It proved to me the power of being a role model, and that is necessary every single day being in the eyes of the public in broadcast journalism. My dad, sister, and uncle and the rest of my family show me their unconditional love and support, and my grandma deserves a shout out of her own. Aside from being an amazing woman, she's an amazing writer. She has always written me the nicest cards, and I learned how to carry on those heartfelt notes from her at a young age. Flash forward about 15 years, and I get the sweetest, most heartfelt text messages from her every single day after she watches my story from the night before, reminding me that I am her favorite reporter and that she's proud. I know I don't have as many stories from my career as some of the others being inducted this evening, but I'm honored to even share a virtual stage with them, and I want to continue working the rest of my broadcasting career to make Slippery Rock University, Mike McHugh, and of course my family proud. Thank you for nominating me for this award and for giving me this unforgettable opportunity.
Thank you so much, Haley. Congratulations. Up next is the Jim Aronson Founders Award. This award recognizes dedication to the fields of communication and media throughout outstanding service and volunteerism. And this year's recipient for the 2020 Jim Aronson Founders Award is Terry Sullivan. And Terry, while he was attending SRU, he majored in speech and theater, and the predecessor of today's communication department and secondary education, but much of his time was spent in the WFNT radio studio. That's where he served as the general manager from 1970 through 1972. So during his time as GM, he played a vital role in the organization as it moved from North Hall to the Student Union. He helped to develop the news department at the station, featuring ABC Network News and community campus remotes. The sports department grew to cover all home football and basketball games as well. Numerous away conference games. Coverage culminated with live reporting of the Alonzo Stagg Bowl in Atlantic City, New Jersey. So a lot of good experiences there. And after his time at SRU, Terry pursued his passion for sales and worked in newspaper and radio advertising before he began his successful 33-year career in the railroad industry. And that's where he's held various administrative positions. So Terry credits his organizational and administrative skills to his days with WFNT. So please join me now in congratulating Terry. All right, so up next is the Lifetime Achievement Award, and this award is selected by the Hall of Fame committee from a pool of Hall of Fame nominees, and it represents the highest level of recognition from the Department of Communication. This year's recipient of the 2020 Lifetime Achievement Award is Mr. Bob Barrickman. Bob is the sports director at WBVP and WNBA Radio in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. And that's where he's covered high school, college, and professional sports since 1980. His broadcasts of Geneva College football have been recognized by achievements in radio on air. And Bob was inducted into the Beaver County Sports Hall of Fame in 2008 and received the G Award in 2012 from Geneva College for his quality performance and dedication to WBVP and WNBA over several years of service. In 2015, the Rochester, Pennsylvania Chamber of Commerce recognized Bob with a Community Service Award for his longtime contributions toward youth sports and the community. And he's been broadcasting over 60 high school PIAA state championship games. Bob graduated from SRU with a degree in communication in 1977. And during his time at SRU, Bob served as a sports announcer and DJ at WNFT. So please join me now in congratulating Bob Barrickman.
First of all, I am honored and extremely humbled to receive the Slippery Rock University Lifetime Achievement Award and for my upcoming induction into the SRU Media Hall of Fame. Words alone cannot express the thanks I owe to people like Katrina Quinn, Jim Aronson, Brittany Fleming, and the committee who felt I was deserving of these honors. I want to congratulate the other inductees of this year's class, and going into the hall with them only makes this honor even more special. Slippery Rock is where it all started for me back in 1976 when I worked for college radio station WNFT. I'll never forget my first sports broadcast working alongside John Spence for the Slippery Rock basketball game at Waynesburg in December of that year. Working with John, Rob Ebersole, and Chris Crivello Coulter, to name a few, were special days at WNFT. Chris is now a member of the SRU Hall. After graduating, Guy Junker of WTAE-TV in Pittsburgh gave me my first sports broadcasting job when he brought me on board at WNBA Radio in Ambridge. Thanks so much to Guy and to Chris Shovlin, who hired me at WBVP Radio in Beaver Falls in 1987. SRU Media Hall of Famer Mark Raz was one of my early broadcast partners at WBVP. I appreciate Mark's support along with Slippery Rock Hall of Famers Paul Patera and the late Mark Shaws for going to bat for me. I enjoy special working relationships and friendships with my current fellow WBVP announcers Tom Hayes, Jim Frederick, Bruce Fry, and Jason Colangelo. The late Carrie Lacey was a broadcast partner of mine and a lifelong close friend. Also, Mark Peterson, Frank Iorio, Diane Powers, and Sheila Dambaugh, among others, have influenced me at WBVP. Broadcasting over 60 high school state championship games, doing Geneva College sports for 30 years, and covering 3 Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowls are just some of my broadcast highlights. Above all, I must thank my family. My mom and dad are now in that great world from up above, but I will always cherish their love, guidance, and support. I don't know if I deserve parents like them, but thank God I did. My brothers, Chuck and John, are also in that better world upstairs, but their spirit and inspiration will live forever here on earth. My sisters, Barbara and Mary Lou, remain the most important people in my life on this planet, and I can't thank you enough for everything that you have done and continue to do for me. My nephews and nieces are a huge part of my family, and I love you dearly. Next to my family and friends, broadcasting is my greatest love. And every pleasure and honor I have received stems from my days at WNFT. Along with being inducted into the Beaver County Sports Hall of Fame, being honored by Slippery Rock University is the greatest honor I have ever received. It's an honor I'll cherish for the rest of my life. To SRU, I owe you a tremendous thank you.
Okay, thanks so much, Bob. Congratulations to you and congratulations to all of the inductees tonight. This concludes our presentation for the evening. We just, again, want to say thank you to the faculty members of the Communication Department, Events Committee, and members of WSRU-TV WSRU-TV for your help with this production. It's been a tough year, but we've all made it through, and we're going to stick together. And I hope so much to see you guys next year in person. So stay safe, and we'll see you then.